right, so I'm Kevin Johnson. I am CEO of Udemy, and I'm excited to have my full 18-minute allotment to give you an overview of the company. I'll tell you who we are, what we do, how we do it, and why as well. And in fact, I'm going to start in reverse order with the why we exist. Before I tell you, there are three fundamental beliefs that inform our mission and drive our business. And before I tell you the first, I need to give you a warning that I'm going to make what I guarantee is the least controversial statement of anybody in all 456 sessions in 3 days of this conference. So brace yourselves for the obvious. Yes, we believe in the power of education to improve lives. As I said, blindingly obvious. We think it's the greatest single lever that individuals or a group of people have to lift their trajectory in life. Unfortunately, we also realize that access to opportunity is not universal. Even though talent may be spread all around the world, not all that talent, not all the best and brightest around the world have access to education and to a traditional classroom with high quality teaching. But we believe with technology, we can still unlock the opportunity to learn for students around the world. Again, perhaps not blindingly controversial or unobvious in an EdTech conference, but it's something that's really important to us and is really poignant, especially since our founder was one of those best and brightest students who grew up in a rural farming village in Turkey, actually, going to school in a one-room schoolhouse. And one summer, his family decided to forego the family vacation for the summer and not buy a computer, they couldn't even afford that, but rent a computer and some internet access. So he went online and discovered, as he was looking for instruction and tutoring, that he actually had a minor aptitude for math. In fact, a great aptitude for math, and went on to win the silver medal in the international, not US, the International Math Olympiad. And so he realized, wow, if this internet thing, it seems like it could really help people. So he had the bright idea to start a company that would provide the kind of access that he was finding online to a broader audience. Now, our third belief actually is a little bit controversial and does distinguish us from many of the companies here. And that is, we believe that just as not all the best students in the world have access to traditional classrooms, it's not always the best teachers in the world who are found in traditional classrooms either. If you go, for example, to Stanford Business School, arguably the pinnacle of elite higher education, we believe that's especially true in a world where the pace of technical change advances. And if you want to learn Python for big data analytics, perhaps you should go to someone like Jose Portilla, who happens to be a data analyst with a flair for teaching. And even for less technical skills like, say, bread baking, you should perhaps go to Teresa Greenway, who has a family of 10 in rural Washington State and learned how to bake to survive and is great at teaching others how to do it to feed their own families or impress their friends. So our goal really is to unlock their potential to teach and the potential of teachers just like them all around the world. So based on these three beliefs, we've really set out to build the leading global marketplace for learning and instruction. We are not ourselves trying to teach the world, but we're trying to connect students everywhere with the best instructors and instruction available anywhere to maximize our collective potential. And we also think it can build a pretty good and valuable business at the same time. So how are we doing against our mission? I would be tempted to say mission accomplished, but George Bush is here and that would just be rude to steal his line. So instead, I will say we're making good progress. We've really built a thriving and vibrant global marketplace. We have 35,000 real-world instructors today, teaching 75,000 courses in 60 languages and counting, and they are reaching 20 million students really all around the world. Every country and territory we have a student in. One of the things that distinguishes us is that we are obviously not trying to create the content. We have 75,000 courses and our instructors are creating those courses. So we have a variety of content, a breadth of content that can't be matched everywhere and we could not create on our own. So to give you a flavor of that, I'll give you 90 seconds of 75,000 courses. Ready? Here we go.
Namaste.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Bienvenido a este curso.
Hello, my name's Teresa Greenway.
Ich bin Sabine Göbisch.
Hi, I'm Larry Miller. Welcome to my course.
嗨，大家好，我是 Take， 我是一个 Senior 网页工程师，那也是网页基础15天的创办人。
I'm Rob, and I'm going to be popping up at the beginning of each section to let you know what's coming next.
Starting with making a simple building, and in the end, we're going to create a beautiful scene.
save that, and then refresh, and there we go. So now we've got an image.
就是 HTML、CSS、JavaScript 跟 jQuery。那后端呢就是 PHP 跟 MySQL。
If you have questions or comments about any of the content here, we can use the Q&A session. We are a family here, we are a community, and you can feel free to use the Q&A here in Udemy to ask me anything.
Vamos a conocer también los 3 mandamientos de la voz. Te voy a enseñar
我们可以同时训练这2种意象，来提高自己的记忆能力。
Thank you once again, and I wish you a beautiful journey ahead.
Okay, so not quite 75,000 courses, maybe a dozen, but hopefully that gives you a flavor. Sorry. I'll go forward.
Namaste.
Hopefully that gives you a flavor for the incredible variety of styles, of teachers themselves, different languages. As I said, 60 plus different languages. We have captions as well, translated captions. It's video plus examples and exercises. We have quizzes, we have tests, we have practice tests for certification, FAQs to help if you have a question, and live Q&A with instructors. So again, a variety that really can't be matched anywhere else. Additionally, the other V from the last presentation, we have velocity as well. So again, we're not limited by our own ability to create courses. Our 35,000 instructors are out there creating new courses all the time. We have about 75,000 courses today, and we add about 3,000 courses every month, which is more than most of our competitors or similar companies add in a year or maybe in their entire history. So basically, if you come to Udemy and you don't find the course you want in the language you speak, wait a week or two, and hopefully it'll be there. And then one other characteristic of our marketplace, when you combine that kind of breadth and that kind of velocity, is we also tend to be first to market on a variety of different topics. So take Bitcoin. It's been around for a long time, but really hit popular consciousness last year, became hot. We've had a course since April 2013. React, the hot coding language, coding base. We had a course within I think 3 days of the code base being launched back in 2013. Didn't really become popular. You couldn't spot it in Google Trends until 2017. And when iOS 11 came out, our instructors didn't even wait for the code to be launched. We had 37 courses 6 weeks before iOS 11 was released to the public. So again, there's no way we could compete with that ourselves. It's really our instructors out there competing with each other, trying to figure out what's next in a way that we would never do it if we had the sort of the command and control approach to our content. However, all of that content and that velocity and that variety does not come without a cost. We don't have to create the content, which is great, but we do have to invest a considerable amount and an increasing amount in understanding that content. And the most important part is trying to match that to a student, help the student find the right course out of 75,000. So we look at really every piece of data that we have. We take a look for an individual student, what are their search terms, what other courses have they viewed, what reviews have they left, what are their language, of course. We ask them questions to find out their learning goal. If they tell us, that's great, but if not, we still work with the picture we can create and try to figure out students like her or him to help guide us in selecting a course or recommending a course for that student. And we're doing the same on the other side with the courses, looking at the keywords, the description, the full transcript, the reviews from other students to create that picture so we can get the best course for any learning need. And to help us in that, we've also developed a knowledge graph. So instead of ourselves trying to become experts in hundreds or thousands of different courses and curricula, we instead let the data tell us. We let the marketplace tell us. So if we have students who are looking for a big data curriculum, we see what courses people who are looking for big data take. Or if they're not naming the overall study but taking a single course like in Python, we can look at the courses that go with Python to figure out what is your likely next best course. And I'm happy to say our investment in matching is working. And the way we can tell that is we look at the engagement with our courses, and we measure that in terms of consumption. And there are two important metrics for us. One is obviously the first watch of a course, the first time someone views it. And we also look if someone comes back a second month and goes back into the course, because that tells us that they're deeply engaged with the content and reviewing it and coming back. And I'm happy to say that our first watch consumption is going up by about 100% year over year each month. And our rewatch, that second level of engagement, is going up 200% year over year each month. So we really feel like we're hitting that magical moment for our marketplace where we have a virtuous cycle, where supply is creating more demand and demand is creating more supply, and so on and so on. From the outside, having run marketplaces before, I know people think, oh great, you got a little marketplace, you got some supply, you got some demand, and then the magic happens. It's actually hard work that goes on behind all that, and we do a lot to make sure that that cliche flywheel keeps spinning faster and faster, starting with paid marketing. So we do everything from paid search to television advertising and everything in between. And then happily, our instructors amplify what we do with their own marketing. Our students do as well with word of mouth. And then on top of that, we have a growing brand that creates direct traffic and organic traffic. And actually, our top sources of new students are the students themselves, bringing in their friends, and our brand as well. Once we get all that traffic, we still have to do something with it, all the students, all those instructors. Again, it's not as easy as it looks from the outside to run a good marketplace. So we invest heavily in supporting our marketplace, supporting our students, supporting our instructors. We have a team of over 80 people and growing, operating 24/7. We accept 18 different currencies and counting. Adding to that, we're supporting our students and instructors in 9 different languages. And we're doing everything from helping students pick a course, access the course, change courses, leave a review, get their questions answered, make sure the teacher is responsive to them, to helping our instructors as well. How do they create a course? How do they pick a topic? Helping them with setup, giving them detailed feedback on their first course to get them up and running. I'm happy to say I've said sort of marketplace, but I'm happy to say for us internally and also for our students and our instructors, Udemy is more than just a marketplace, and our instructors heavily identify with Udemy. Everything from custom license plates, that was an instructor picture shot in the wild, to branding themselves as Udemy instructors and on social media and professional networks, to getting together for our annual live event, to share war stories with each other and tips and tricks, to our online community. So we have an online forum that's one of the most active, engaged forums out there. And new and veteran instructors come onto that forum every day to help each other out and share information. Everything from what microphone should I use to this question was, what's the best month to teach your first course on Udemy, and what's the worst month? And the most popular answer was, the best month is this month, and the worst month is waiting any time later. Go ahead and get started. And that last image is the one maybe I'm most excited about. That's Chris Haroon, who happens to be one of our $1 million instructors. So he's made over $1 million teaching on Udemy. But he's back teaching other instructors how to teach courses on Udemy, which on the one hand seems crazy. Why create his own competition? But he realizes the power of the network, and he said very directly to me, yeah, I realize I'm creating people who might compete with me, but they're going to bring in more students and grow the network, and we'll all benefit. So yes, Udemy is figuratively and emotionally more than just a marketplace, and it is also literally and business-wise more than just a marketplace, because we also have a thriving B2B business. We have 1,500 corporations today, and some governments in there as well, who buy a subscription on behalf of their employees or their citizens for a subset of our most relevant courses to them, and provide that in sort of an all-you-can-eat basis to their employees. And the great thing is they can add their own content using our tools as well, so they get a complete learning solution for their teams. And really the difference, sort of how we position ourselves as in the B2B space, is that instead of being the training that HR has brought historically that employees sometimes dread, we're the learning that they really want and crave. And we see that in the data. Once companies roll out our training, they see engagement that's typically 10 times what they've seen previously and 10 times the industry average. And the great news is, as people engage with our content, their level of consumption typically goes up 12 times in the first year. and companies that have surveyed, and when we've surveyed, we found that actually the impression of the HR or L&D organization with the company goes up and is now positive, 82% of employees say, based on having access to Udemy for Business training, which to us is a great success. And I'm not sharing any revenues today, but I'll just give you an idea of how that has translated into revenue growth. Our Udemy for Business is a smaller part of our business, but it's the most rapidly growing, and it's, in case you can't do curves in your head, that's 200+% growth and accelerating, which we're pretty excited about. And with my final 90 seconds, I'll give our instructors the last word.
I am Alexa Fisher. I teach confidence, communication, and how to get lit up about life with my 1000-watt presence programs.
My name is Shani Raja, and I teach people how to write with the style and flair of some of the world's best journalists.
My name is Lazaro J. Diaz, and I teach Cisco courses.
I left my job as an editor for the Wall Street Journal, and I'm now able to just do this full time, which means that I have a lot of flexibility in the way I work, and I can just focus on delivering really top quality education for people who I think would really benefit from the skills that I've learned during my 20 odd years as a journalist.
The fact that I can reach students across the world and I'm actually doing and changing people's lives, that's what's the most attractive part of Udemy that I like.
I have been with Udemy almost since the very beginning, since 2011, and I love the idea that you can take what you know and help people that you will likely never meet. And there's something special about Udemy in particular, and I believe it was started with this idea that you can empower people through education. And on the flip side, you get to empower instructors to deliver what they love to deliver to people all over the world.
All right, with that, I'll say, if you haven't taken a course on Udemy, you should. If you haven't taught a course on Udemy, you should do that too. And thank you. Anybody? Yes?
What kind of measures do you put in place to control the quality of the content?
So we do a basic quality control as the content comes in, trying to verify the instructor's identity and also just the basic quality of the video. And then we really let the marketplace decide. And so we build in mechanisms to see what happens on reviews, but also the way people are watching videos, how quickly they abandon a video. It would give us a sign that something is wrong with it. But similar to Uber or Airbnb, where you're literally putting your life in the hands of the market, we're relying on reviews in the marketplace to tell us the quality of the content. Yes?
What is the pricing strategy that you guys have in the marketplace?
The pricing strategy is a carefully guarded secret that I cannot reveal. But our goal overall is to make sure that we maximize access. So we truly are trying to make great education accessible and affordable around the world. So anywhere from the price of lunch to dinner at this point. Yes?
What's your philosophy on partnerships? Third-party companies?
We like partnerships. Yes. Yep. Do we have any hire? We have a couple who are working with us and have content with us, and then we have some partnerships, especially around the world as well, where they're taking our content and providing it to students to help them transition to the workforce, and governments as well. Yes.
You mentioned an instruction being $1 million. How many of those do you have?
It is. It's more than a handful. Let's put it that way. I don't know the exact count, but it's not 2. It's a dozen at least, I believe. Yes, in the way back. Yep. We probably will add more live in the future, but it's not the dominant direction for us. All right, I went to 0 here on the clock, so I think that's one last one. Yes. I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but we don't really think we have any, at least in the US and in terms of being a global marketplace in the same way we are. So we start to look at other things, and we look at, on the one end, free, and YouTube and people going there to find something versus the higher quality material they find with us. And then we think, I won't name them all, but they're probably closer competitors in specific countries that have looked at what we're doing and said, oh, I'm going to do that for Brazil. And so sort of the better, the more close competitors are those that are imitating us in specific countries. All right, with that, I will stop. Thanks, everybody.